Intro music. Water sounds. Did you hear about the stink that changed history? It's hard to imagine, but in the mid-19th century, London was grappling with a problem so awful, so unbearable, that it became known as the Great Stink. But this vile chapter in history did much more than offend noses. It revolutionized the way cities handle sanitation. Buckle up, because today's historical hidden gem will take us back to a smelly river, public outcry, and one genius engineer who reshaped the urban world forever. Scene shift. Vintage illustrations of Victorian London. Imagine this. It's the summer of 1858 in Victorian London. The city is bursting at the seams with nearly 3 million residents. Urbanization has skyrocketed, but something very critical has not kept up with the pace. The sewers. Human waste and industrial refuse are being dumped directly into the Thames. Yes, the very same river providing drinking water. Gross, right? Nope, it gets worse. Zoom in on Thames River. Murky brown water. This filthy practice had been going on for decades. By the 1850s, the Thames had essentially turned into one massive putrid cesspit. The summer heat in 1858 acted as the proverbial match that lit the stinky powder keg. Temperatures soared, and as the heat intensified, so did the stench. Newspapers across the city detailed the horror as Londoners wrinkled their noses and covered their mouths. The stench was so overpowering that residents couldn't open their windows, let alone step outside. Even the leather furniture in Parliament was soaked in chloride of lime in an attempt to mask the malodorous air. Quick cuts of shocked citizens. Overlay text. Will the city survive? It's important to remember that they didn't fully understand the link between smell and disease. But they knew something about the stink wasn't right. The cholera outbreaks of 1832 and 1849 had wiped out tens of thousands. And while medical science still clung to the miasma theory, the belief that disease traveled through bad air, the people were demanding action. So, who would step in to save the day? Enter Joseph Bazalgette, the unlikely hero of our tale. New scene. Portrait of Joseph Bazalgette, filter to look heroic. Bazalgette was an engineer working for the Metropolitan Board of Works. At first glance, he might not seem like the type to change the world, but he believed infrastructure was the key to progress, and possibly to saving lives. When the government finally realized that the smell was more than just unbearable, but a clear sign of urban decay, Bazalgette was tasked with solving the sewer problem. Graphical overlay, blueprints of sewers. He designed a revolutionary system of underground sewers to carry waste away from the city and store it until it could be safely released into tidal waters downstream. This wasn't just an improvement, it was a radical shift in urban engineering. Bazalgette didn't cut corners. He designed the sewers to last, ensuring that they could support not just the present population, but fourfold its size. His foresight was astounding. Scene. Construction of sewers. Workers digging under London. The construction began in the late 1850s. Thousands of workers toiled day and night to lay brick-lined sewers under the bustling metropolis. The endeavour wasn't just massive in scale, it was grueling. Workers faced suffocating heat, dangerous vapours, and the constant threat of collapse. Bazalgette's project was the largest civil engineering challenge of its day, covering over 82 miles of sewers. Sweeping shot of 1860s London. Modern infrastructure beginning to take shape. The payoff? Absolutely transformative. The new sewer system not only eliminated the Great Stink, but also helped to stamp out cholera by improving public health across the board. Londoners quickly noticed the difference, and the city became cleaner, healthier, and far more livable. Fast-forward time lapse of city modernization. Now here's the kicker. Bazalgette sewers are still in use today. That 19th century foresight laid the foundation for modern sanitation systems worldwide. By creating a model for planned urban infrastructure, he directly shaped the future of cities. Without the stink, people likely wouldn't have grasped the collective need for clean water and waste management as quickly as they did. Scene: fade out to Basil Getz' statue. Sure, the Great Stink was an ordeal nobody would want to live through. But in hindsight, it served as a smelly wake-up call, forcing a rapidly growing city to recognize its breaking point and prioritize the health and dignity of its citizens. Final scene, wrapping up. Let this be a reminder. Progress is sometimes born out of the foulest situations. And, as much as we might turn up our noses at history, there's no denying its lessons shape our world every single day. And so, the next time you turn on the tap and pour yourself a glass of clean water, give a little thanks to Joseph Bazalgette and London's Great Stink of 1858. You just might owe him more than you think. Outro music, upbeat, hopeful tune.